Hello, Earth Angels, and welcome back to another episode of Alignment Academy. It is your host, Kristen. If you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm a corporate dropout turned spiritual mentor and mindset coach, and I am obsessed with helping women, entrepreneurs, CEOs do their inner work so they can heal their shit and get out of their own way so they can actually just follow their soul's purpose and live the biggest, most fulfilled, most abundant life that they can. If you are here, it is not an accident. I'm just going to say that. No one that finds me is an accident. It is divinely guided by your soul, by your spirit team. I'm always asking my spirit team to bring me the people that need to hear the message. So just know that this is on purpose. And I think that's the beautiful thing, that when you start seeing everything as on purpose, you can kind of choose it. You know what I mean? Like you're like, oh wow, this was meant for me, right? I'm actually really excited to be in front of the microphone today. I feel like it's been kind of a while since I've just sat face to face with you guys and jammed on what has been going on, my thoughts. You know, I love just talking into a camera. So really, I've been in this season of kind of going inward in my life and taking a lot of inventory and doing a lot of inner work. I've been sharing this with a lot of my Alignment Academy calls and my inner work alchemy calls. When I see that there's a lot of inner work for me to do, instead of like dragging it out months over months, I really prefer to go all in. So just to give you guys like an updated inner work schedule for me, you know, it's not always in this, but I'm in a pretty intense season of doing a lot of work on myself. So along with just kind of cocooning a bit in my social life and stuff, I've been doing Joe Dispenza meditations in the morning. I've been doing my inner child meditations at night. And I've really been doubling down on that double a day every single day of the week, because I've just been seeing my edge and my blocks that are coming up, and I know how to work through them, but it just takes putting in the time. And so my blocks have really been around some shadows that have been coming up around deservingness and my feminine era, like around love and around relationships. I've had a few reflections recently where, you know, I think that that's the beauty about reflections or people reflecting things back to you, is sometimes if you don't have a reflection, you don't know where your work is. And so I had a reflection come up in my love life probably a couple weeks ago now that really forced me to look at some of my own beliefs around what I am worthy of and what I desire. And it brought up a lot for me. And so I'm so grateful I have the tools to use the reflection to actually do something about it and change my beliefs around myself. It's been a really good season. Also, oh my God, if you guys saw my Instagram story, I am literally so excited. I manifested a new surfboard, and you guys know I've been telling you that my surfboard got stolen a couple months ago. I have been just borrowing surfboards since then, or just not surfing a lot. And honestly, it wasn't a huge deal because there wasn't a lot of surf here in California for like a month. It was a full quantum field manifestation. So let me tell you guys about my surfboard manifestation story. You guys know I'm not really in the business of going out to get things. I like to use the quantum field to bring things to me. I don't like things to take a lot of effort. I really like to just play in the quantum, right? So I've been looking for a surfboard, and think about any new hobby. You know nothing about this. So there's so many sizes of surfboards. Like you want a short board? Do you want a mid board? Do you want a long board? Do you want a fun board? Do you want an egg shape? Do you want like a fish? Like there are so many types of surfboards. And when you're getting off of like a learning board, which is a foamy, like it's really, really overwhelming of like what you want to choose and what is going to be the next best step for you, and also what kind of surfer you want to be. I'm like, I don't even know what kind of surfer I want to be. I just want to have fun out there. That's what I was saying. I was like, I just want to have fun out there. I don't know. And so everyone and their mom has a different opinion about what surfboard you should get. Some people are like, you should get a long board so you can just get really good at that and then move to short board. Some people are like, don't get an 8-foot. It was a lot. Long story short, I asked one of my guy friends to go surfboard shopping with me. So we took an afternoon, we go surfboard shopping, and I thought I knew what I wanted, but I was also still really confused. And I thought I was going to get this surfboard. I wanted to get a used board, but I was like, okay, maybe I'll just get this new one. And then I am ready to buy it. And then a couple of my guy friends I was telling them what I was going to get. They were like, Kristen, don't get that board. Like, we know it's affordable, but like that's like getting a board from Walmart. So then I'm like, oh my God, I don't want a Walmart board. That's not me. So I scratched everything and this is what I do. This is what I did with my house too. I got so overwhelmed, I just stopped. I was like, I don't know. I was like pissed at the universe. I'm like, source, bring me my surfboard. I don't know how it's going to happen, but make it easy for me. Please make it easy for me. So anyway, it had been over a month since I had surfed because again, it was like so cold and dreary here, and unfortunately, I am a fair weather surfer. Then one of my first days back, my friend was like, Kristen, I have 2 boards. Like, why don't you ride this one and let's go out? And so I was like, yeah, I'll ride your board. Let's go surf. So first day back surfing, I'm riding her board. And this particular friend is actually moving out of her house and like moving into her van that she just bought. So she's downsizing. So that's just like some backstory. So anyway, we're go out surfing. And again, I haven't surfed in over a month. And so I catch my first wave and it's so fun. I'm like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with this board. This is the size that I want. This is the board that I want. Done. And she looks at me. She's like, that board looks so good on you. And I'm like, thank you. And she's like, do you want to buy it from me? Honestly, it would help me out. Like, since I'm downsizing everything, I want to get new boards anyway, and I don't want that one. And I'm like, it's between my legs, guys. And I'm like, yes, I am obsessed with this board. And so it's this really nice board. She's been surfing for years, so it's like super vetted. And she sold it to me, and I literally brought it home in my car that night. So that was like a really exciting manifestation that came through that I wasn't working that hard on. But again, when you raise your core frequency, things just come to you. Whatever you're manifesting just flows to you. And that's why I'm literally obsessed with all the inner work, especially in inner work alchemy, because your core frequency is like your frequency average, right? This is something that I teach in Inner Work Alchemy. And the way that you raise your frequency average so that you're just always manifesting and not just manifesting when you're trying to manifest the one thing is by clearing your trauma, clearing your limiting beliefs, and assuming the frequency of wholeness and memorizing wholeness. And that's just done through a ton of inner work. So that was a really, really cool manifestation that I had in my life. And thanks for listening and sharing the story. I know you guys like maybe are not surfers, but hopefully it was entertaining to say the least. Anyway, that's the latest in my life. Something that we're going to talk about today though is, in this more internal hermit mode, and I am a 2/4 in human design if you guys are human design girlies. So I'm like the hermit and the networker. So I can either be one or the other. It's like I'm either hermiting or I'm networking, and there's not a lot of crossover for both. But I'm definitely in a hermit mode right now, and I've just been kind of trying to observe myself. And one of the things that I've observed about myself is just some of the things that I do, and I swear they have led to my success. So that's the topic for today. Is we're going to talk about 5 things I do that I swear to source have led to my highest success. And I really want you to notice how a lot of these things are about like the type of person I am, the type of person and the traits that I have and who I'm being. I'm super into identity work right now. It's just a game changer for me. And so these are some of the things that I low-key do that I don't tell anyone I do, but are just like, I feel like a little quirky, and I swear to God, just have given me a lot of success and have made me the type of person that I am. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. The first thing that I do that is kind of weird, but I haven't really met a lot of people that are this obsessed, is I am such a learner. I listen to, on average, I'm not kidding, guys, around 15 podcasts a week. And these are about all the topics, right? I listen to things about fitness. Listen to stuff about spirituality, business. Like, I am just always listening to podcasts. And I'm obsessed with learning. I really make time for this. And a lot of people sometimes are like, how do you know so much? And I'm like, I literally don't know, because I don't read that much. I don't read that much. Like, I've read 2 books in the last 6 months maybe, and I'm trying to get back into reading, but that's a whole other story. But I consume a lot of podcasts, and I think that I just have the identity of someone who's always wanting to learn. I'm always on YouTube. I'm trying to learn. Even like with my new membership and my platform, I love just like learning from other people who have memberships. Like, I'm just always watching a YouTube video, listening to a podcast on it. Like, I just am always learning. And this is one of the things I think that sometimes when people don't know what to do, instead of trying to learn or pay for a course or do it, they're just like, oh, I don't know how to do that. Entrepreneurship has given me such figure it out energy. And I think that as someone who is an entrepreneur, you have to love figuring it out and failing forward and having messy action and just learning. So that's one of the things that I do that I think has really added to a lot of my success and my knowledge. And this is an easy thing for you to add into your schedule. Like, literally just listen to more podcasts. It's easy. And just to give you an example of like when I listen to them, as soon as I wake up, that's when I put on a podcast. So for the first 30 minutes of my day, I do a silent walk with Teddy when I take him on a walk. But for the first 30 minutes when I'm getting ready, brushing my hair, washing my face, brushing my teeth, it's just a podcast. And then I go on a silent walk, and then I come back and I make my cacao, blah, 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 blah. And I'm listening to a podcast again before I get into work. I have realized that sometimes I can do too much. So I have been putting more silent time in my days, but you can put them in the morning. I do it again when I'm going to bed. And then throughout the day, if I'm just cooking or something, I'll put on a podcast. So it gets me through like 1 to 2 a day, and do the math. It's like, almost 15 a week. So I am really a podcaster. Today's episode is brought to you by Alignment Academy, the membership. I created this membership to offer a crazy affordable and safe space for you to heal your deepest wounds, build unshakable confidence, and activate your highest timeline. Imagine being surrounded by a community that truly gets you and not feeling freaking crazy or like you're knocked off your path by trigger after trigger after trigger. Because believe me, I've been there. In order to actually heal, you kind of got to sit your booty down and do the freaking work to actually reprogram your subconscious mind and create higher self-worth through your actions. When you enroll in Alignment Academy, you're going to gain access to an extensive library of 7 past masterclasses, 6 of my best-selling meditations, along with a new monthly masterclass to help you guys transform, grow, and actually take action towards your goals. Every month, we also have live inner work meditations led by me with topics such as inner child work, shadow work, future visioning, playing in the quantum field, and so much more. And if you're wondering, where the heck is my soul family and why is the spiritual journey so lonely? I'm telling you, they're inside of Alignment Academy. Everyone in there is truly a special frequency. We're all talking about Joe Dispenza meditations. We're talking about entrepreneurship, trailblazing our own path, healing our inner child wounds, shadow work, how to set empowering boundaries. It's such a high vibe conversation, and I can't wait for you to experience it yourself. If you were to buy a live coaching call with me, plus all the masterclasses, plus all the meditations just as one-off things, it would be over $5,000. And I'm offering this all to you for $77 per month. I am calling in people who are here for the long haul and really trying to do the healing work. But if you don't like it, you can cancel anytime. If you're interested in joining us, you can enroll with the link below, and I can't wait to see you inside. Now, my next point is going to sound a little contradictory, but I think it still relates, because I think that we're in such a society where we just want more knowledge. And I know that it might sound like I'm just like overloading myself with knowledge. But the thing that I'm not telling you about this is when I listen to a really good one about something that would help me grow or learn, I will listen to it 2 or 3 times. So sometimes I listen to a podcast and then right after I finish it, I start it over and I literally listen to it again and again and I take notes. And I think that this is one of the traits that has made me so successful is I'm not in the business of information. I'm in the business of mastery. Whatever I do, I try to master it. And this goes for everything in my life, right? This could go for me doing my inner child meditations. This could be, it's like, I don't do one once a week. I do it every night. I don't listen to a podcast once. If I need to learn something, I listen to it 3 times. I'm thorough. And I want you to ask yourself, how thorough are you? Are you taking a course and just going through it once? When I went through my last course that I took, I listened to every video 2 to 2.5 times. Like maybe I skipped around after I listened to it 2 times and I was like, okay, I want to take notes on that. I want to really get dialed in for that, right? So really it's like about being thorough and mastering whatever you're learning. So many people are just like, oh, I tried this and it's not working. And it's like, you tried it for 1 freaking second. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's about mastery, not just learning something. So that's my second point, is really taking time to master whatever I'm learning and not just skimming it or not just, going through it once. The third random thing that I do that I swear makes me super successful is I look at everything from the inside out. Before I became rich, I feel rich, so I'm going to say I'm rich. Before I became rich on the inside first, and then I was rich on the outside. Before I went viral, I became iconic and viral on the inside before I did on the outside. Before I had a full-time business, I acted as if I had a full-time business on the inside and showed up on Instagram like I had a full-time business before it showed up on the outside. And this is really, honestly, one of the main teachings of what I do is everything that you're feeling on the inside is going to be reflected in your outside world. It's just is. Like, you can't change that. I feel like that's a universal truth by now, but not a lot of people get it, is whatever you're trying to become, you have to become it on the inside first. And so if you're trying to get a lot of money, if you're trying to be a coach, if you're trying to be a podcaster, but you're not showing up like that, or you don't feel like you are on the inside, then you're not going to be on the outside. I want to be a full-time podcaster in the next couple years. And I literally tell people when they ask me, what do you do for work? I'm like, I have a podcast. I literally start with that because I am assuming that identity, and I don't even care if I sound crazy, because you know what? I am a podcaster, and I'm assuming that that's what I'm doing, and that's where I'm going, and all that good stuff. And so sometimes it really does take being fucking Delulu, and I don't care who knows, because it works. And so I think that this is so much to do with identity too. It's so funny. I just got off of an inner work alchemy call, and at the end of the call, we had some extra time, and one of my clients was like, I want to be rich, but I feel so much lack. And I'm like, well, who are you showing up as? And she was like, what do you mean? I'm like, are you thinking lack thoughts? Are you being a person in lack? And they were like, I don't really get what you're saying, Kristen. And I go, guys, identity is everything. And I pull out my journal from 2 nights ago, and I go, I just wrote down my entire new identity. Let me show you. And I ran them through all the parts because I just created Kristen 4.0. And Kristen 4.0 is a completely different person than I've been. She thinks differently. She moves differently. She acts differently. She dresses differently. And I got clear on that. Not many people are willing to sit down. This is what I do in my free time, but not many people are willing to sit down and actually write down who they're going to be. And then I said, now that I know who I need to be to become this person, every time I'm actively not being that person in my life, I know. I get it. I literally can feel that I'm not being that person. And I am like, oh, Kristen 4.0 wouldn't be thinking those thoughts. Kristen 4.0 wouldn't be moving like that. And it's literally just this reinforcement of that's who I need to be, and I'm not being her, so I need to be her. So I think identity work is such a big thing that people don't take the time to do. It's so simple. It took me 30 minutes to sit down and write down my beliefs, who I am, how I dress, all that stuff. And this is in a lot of my courses too, icon identity, because identity has been everything for me. It's how I became an icon online. It's how I became rich. It's how I become anything that I desire. I just create an identity for it, and then I step into it for like 2 months and I master it, right? So becoming rich, wealthy, and successful from the inside out is key. The fourth thing I do that I swear has led to my success is I do not take anything personally. Really, in business, you can't take it personally, and I'm really talking about in business. So for example, if someone doesn't want to work with me, most people are going to think, oh my God, I'm not good enough. Why don't they want to work with me? I don't assume that responsibility. I'm like, sucks for them that they don't believe in themselves enough, because I know I'll change their life. And this does come from my confidence, but it also comes from me just being really fucking sure of what I have to offer, truly. And so I will literally just like not take anything personally and put the responsibility on them and not make it mean anything about me. That's where people get caught up, is making things mean things about them. Oh, I didn't sign a client when I launched my program, so that means I'm not worthy. Oh, I didn't get a client the first month that I did this, and so that means I'm not supposed to be doing this. It doesn't mean freaking anything. It means what you make it mean, right? So it could mean for you that you're not supposed to be a coach, but that doesn't mean that. For me, it means that, hey, I'm going to prove to the universe that this is going to be what I'm going to do no matter what. And so I almost like play this game with the universe. When I get a reflection I don't want, I'm like, all right, well, I'm just going to keep on trying. I'm going to keep on assuming the energy until I get the reflection that I desire, until I get the reflection that I do want. And I think that that's why I'm so successful, is because I don't just fold at the first time I don't get something that I want. I just keep trying and keep doing it. And I'm like, fuck yeah, like this is lit, you know? That's what I do. I am quickly interrupting this episode to remind you guys that if you're a listener, which clearly you are, I have created a free meditation for all of you. This meditation was built out of my rock bottom when I needed to trust the universe and release a lot of anxiety I was feeling, and I didn't know how. So I learned how to trust the universe, and I'm going to teach you how in this meditation. It's really practicing this feeling of being held and supported, and remembering that you actually are held and supported by by the universe in every single moment. All you have to do to get this meditation is to rate and review the podcast on whatever platform you're listening on, and then go ahead and head over to my podcast Instagram at Alignment Academy Podcast. Give it a follow and then message me on there with a screenshot of your rating or review, whatever platform you're listening on, and I will send you the meditation. Okay, now back to the episode. Number 5 is I take radical responsibility for everything. You guys have heard me say this time and time again, but I'm really going to just drive this home, is whenever there is something in my reality that I don't prefer, I know I can change it and I take responsibility for that. And that can be triggering sometimes. You might be having a friend not showing up for you, or you might not be getting anything in love, or having a lot of fuckboys come in, whatever. It's really easy to just blame it on the other person. But I always put the blame on myself. What's in me that's attracting this? What is this trying to teach me? Where can I change so that I can have a new reflection? And this is why most people don't get what they want, because they won't do the inner work and sit down with themselves and feel those uncomfortable emotions. And this is also why I'm so proud of my clients for doing the inner work, because when you can actually just see a reflection and say, okay, let me look into this a little bit, and you actually have the tools to go in and clear those limiting beliefs, and then you get a new reflection, it is so effing empowering, because you realize you're the creator of your reality. And honestly, as source consciousness, as you and me, we're all source consciousness. We came here to remember that we are creators. And the only way that we can remember we are creators is to get out of victim mode and start creating in our life. You can sit there and you can make things mean that you're not meant to do this big thing, that it's going to be hard for you, that you're never going to quit your job, or you can prove that you can create any life that you want. I am not special. And I always tell you guys this. I am not a special person. I've done nothing that makes me a special person. I am just such a dedicated person to my inner work, and I won't give up. And it's a trait. You can really embody that trait, steal that from me, embody that trait, and see where you get in 6 months to a year. I do not mind putting my head down and working. And I think that's also why I've gotten so far. And I'm going to be unapologetic about my success, because I truly feel deserving. And when you put in the work and you feel like I put in the effort, I do my inner work, I've been showing up every day, you don't apologize for shit anymore, because I'm like, I am just a regular girl and I have this and you can have it too. All you have to do is be disciplined. And so I think that is something that helps me be so unapologetic in who I am, is like, I do feel like I work for it. It's not like I just came out of the womb and was super magnetic like some people. And I do feel like some people are just like super bubbly and super magnetic. I was not one of those girls. Like, I had to try for my confidence and my magnetism. And I'm living proof that it's possible and you can do it. So whatever excuses you're giving yourself right now, I want you to just, let yourself feel like a victim for a second. But then in the morning, I want you to wake up and get out of victim mode and be like, okay, I know I have inner child wounds. I know I'm not doing this thing. What am I actually going to do today that's going to change my reality? Because if you don't change, nothing changes. That's the sad part, is, you can listen to my podcast until the podcast ends, and you can listen to every episode. But if you're not actually doing anything to change, this information is not helping you. And that might be triggering to hear, but information doesn't create transformation. You changing creates transformation, and you change when you change your brain. You change when you change your mind. You change when you change your beliefs. You change when you change your actions. So it's up to you at the end of the day. And honestly, I want it for you. So I'm giving you all the tools. Some stuff that's coming up is my Joshua Tree retreat. I guess the episode's end, but yeah, now we'll talk about some other stuff. I'm just on fire today. So hope you guys are liking this energy, but I have a Joshua Tree retreat coming up. I'm not sure how many spaces there's going to be when this airs, but if you have been interested in coming on a retreat with me, it's one of the most transformative things that I can really say. In my last 2 retreats, there's already been like 3 or 4 girls that have hosted their own retreats after that have stepped into their power, started their businesses, signed on their first like, if you're looking to step into your soul's purpose and you really want an identity shift, I'm telling you, just come on one of my retreats. It's going to blow your effing mind how powerful it is when you get into a room with people that are where you want to be. I swear to God, every time I've quantum leaped, it's because I went to a retreat. I have friends around me that are where I want to be. It's like getting in front of people that can show you how easy it is. There's nothing like it. So I have a Joshua Tree retreat coming up. Also, Alignment Academy, the membership, is a great place to get all my masterclasses, a lot of my meditations. live coaching with me, live meditation with me, co-working sessions, cacao ceremonies. I mean, we do it all in there. So it's $77 a month. And because we're on a fiery episode, I'm just going to say it. I'm sorry, but if you're trying to start a business, but you can't spend $77 a month, and this is something that would actually help you, you're going to have some bigger issues. You know what I mean? Like, that's the bare minimum, is spending money on your business, because if you actually want to do something, it's going to cost you time, money, or both. And that's just the reality of it. And it's funny because I was thinking about this the other day. I'm like, I just made a huge investment, and I was like, people probably think that I only make money, but it's like, yeah, maybe I make $10,000, but then I spend $5,000 of it on something else. And so it's like, I'm always reinvesting my money to get more and more and more. And it's just a game of like, how much do you trust yourself to grow at this point? So join Alignment Academy. If you've been sitting on it, now is a perfect time. We're going to have lots of calls this holiday season, and it's going to be really there to support your highest growth and evolution. And yeah, I think I have another program coming out soon, but I will wait till next week to share that with you guys. So with that being said, I hope you guys have the most amazing week. I hope this fired you up to do some stuff different and take action. As always, I love you guys, and I am your biggest fan behind the scenes, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Bye.